So I would think
Sorry,
that, yeah.
sorry, sir, to interrupt. So, are we going to get recorded the sessions? I'm guessing, right? We're going to get the recorded sessions.
Yeah. I have started the recording. You will be getting the recordings. I'll share the each day's recording after the end of the session. Don't worry.
Sure. Thanks.
And so I was just telling you that you people must have the knowledge of CCNA. Okay, so some sort of knowledge you should have about CCNA. Like you cannot directly learn CCNP. Okay, so CCNA Enterprise is the paper number is 350401, and it is the paper is known as ENCORE. Okay, CCNP Enterprise ENCORE. Now in ENCORE we have multiple, and in ENCORE is the base paper, you can say. Okay, you can say ENCORE is the base paper. Now we have 6 more exams. Okay, 6 selective exams. You can select any one of them. You have ENCORE as the base exam, and you can select any one from the remaining 6. But this ENCORE is the compulsory exam, you can say. Okay, and the rest 6 you can select either one of them. So let us see what all are the next 6 exams. Cisco. Okay, so see, this is the format of CCNP Enterprise Certification and Training. Okay, so when you go to the Cisco's website, you will get this thing. See, core exam. This is my core exam. This is the compulsory exam. 350401, implementing and operating Cisco Enterprise Network Core Technologies. These are the concentration exam. You can choose any one of them. Either NRC, EN, SD WAN, you can say. Okay, enterprise networks, designing enterprise network or wireless networks, or Cisco designing or implementing. Okay, so we have the Cisco has divided these things into multiple, you can say, uh, fields. So what is included in NRC? NRC has some advanced routing and services. Okay, whatever are the routing protocols like EIGRP. Okay, EIGRP is there. Then you can say our OSPF is there, advanced OSPF, MPLS, eBGP. All the things are included in this NRC. SD-WAN solution is completely new. Okay, see, we have 2 things in SD-WAN. What we can do, either we can implement the SD-WAN or design the Cisco Enterprise Network. Okay, now we have again 2 things in wireless, designing Cisco Enterprise Wireless Network or implementing Cisco Enterprise Wireless Network. Now the last and the least is implementing automation for Cisco Enterprise Solutions. So this is the you can say a very new topic the Cisco has been introduced in the CCNP syllabus, or you can say in Cisco this is the very new topic, the automation. Okay, so we have learned some theory things about automation, wireless, and also security in CCNA, in our CCNA batch. Okay, so how we can continue about that things, what we can do. Varun, Arjun, Tushar, and Ayan, as you people have done the old CCNA. Okay, so how we can continue? Any suggestions how we can continue? Because we have already learned many things about wireless, security concepts, and automation in previous CCNA lectures.
Are the wireless and other new concepts there in CCNP Enterprise, sir?
Yes, CCNP Enterprise have all the things. See, I will just open the syllabus of CCNP. See, this is the syllabus of CCNP ENCORE part. Okay, so if suppose See, this is the first chapter, you can say, architecture.
Okay.
Okay. Now, see what all things are there in architecture. Explain different design principle used in enterprise network. So this is there in, these all things are there in architecture. Then we have virtualization. So these all things are there in virtualization. Then we have infrastructure. See, in infrastructure we have layer 2 troubleshooting and layer 3 troubleshootings. So see, we have troubleshoot static dynamic trunk protocols, troubleshoot static dynamic ether channels, okay, configure, verify spanning tree protocols, okay, compare routers. In layer 3 we have compare routing, EIGRP and OSPF, okay, advanced distance vector protocol, these are called. Now simple OSPF environment using multiple normal areas, summarization, filtering, these all things are there. See, there is a wireless chapter also, wireless thing also. Describe layer 1 concepts such as RF power, RSSI, SNR, interference noise, band channels, wireless, AP modes, antennas types, okay, access point, discovery and join process. So these all things are there. Troubleshoot, wireless LAN configuration and wireless connectivity. Okay, likewise we have security concepts also. Security concepts like line and password protection, authentication and authorization using AAA server, access list. Okay, we have we have configure and verify security features, EAP, web authentication and PSK. So we have already learned about PSK in the previous CCNA. We will now learn about web authentication in WEP. We have these security concepts like threat defense, endpoint, next generation firewall, TrustSec, MACsec, okay, and a complete chapter on automation. So we have many things included in this encore part that is there, that is also there in CCNA level. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
let us see how we can do, how we can complete both the things.
So, sir, sorry to interrupt. So, I have a CCNA wireless also. So, I am good with the wireless part. I think I may need a little more help with the SD-WAN and the automation part, since that is what I'm primarily yet to learn basically.
Okay, so the thing is that Tushar, that SD-WAN in the CCNA encore part is not much. See, we have only just one topic over here. Explain
Yes.
working principles Cisco SD-WAN solution. That is SD-WAN control and data plane elements, traditional WAN and SD-WAN solutions. That's it. Nothing else.
Yes. Yes. So I'm guessing there's not a lot of SD-WAN and automation in the CCNA, new CCNA also. I'm guessing. I'm not sure.
Yes, there is not much of SD-WAN, you can say, in the CCNA also, but there is much in CCNA for automation. See, if I open the course, you can say new syllabus for CCNA. See, we have these many chapters. Okay, so we have these many automation and programmability topics that we have already learned. See, these are the basic topics. Okay, so these are the basic topics that we have. These are only theory parts. Also in CCNP, we have theory parts. Only we are having one program, basic Python components and script. Just
So,
we are not having any program, just we have to interpret basic Python components. That's it.
so is that something that can be like covered or understood if it without knowing the CCNA part, basically?
Okay, so I will try my best. What I can do, I will see in the later parts
Or
what I can do to help you people regarding
or
getting.
sir, if you
Okay.
already have recorded the content for those missed portions, you can share them and we will, if we have any doubts, we can get back to you, sir, instead of doing it all over again.
Yeah, I think that is a good idea.
Okay, sure, no issues. I will share the recordings whenever whenever we will be starting. Okay, the wireless part or anything, I will share the recordings 2-3 days prior only. Okay, so that you can
Okay, sir.
prepare from your end and you can come.
Yes, yes, that is good. Thanks.
Yeah. So this is the book that we have for CCNP and CCI Enterprise Core. Okay, this is the book that we refer. You can say. Okay. Now,
Okay.
course overview. We will cover these many topics. Okay, these topics we will cover. Examining Cisco Enterprise Network Architecture. We will examine the Cisco Enterprise Network Architecture. Understanding Cisco switching paths. Okay, what all are the paths that Cisco uses? Cisco uses on its switch, okay, to forward the packets. Implementing campus LAN connectivity, building redundant switch topology, implementing layer 2 port aggregation, understanding EIGRP, okay, enhanced interior gateway routing protocol, implementing OSPF, optimizing OSPF, exploring eBGP. Now, implementing network redundancy, implementing NAT, okay, introducing virtualization protocols and techniques, understanding virtual private network and interfaces, understanding wireless principles, examining wireless deployment options, understanding wireless roaming and location services, examining wireless access point operations, understanding wireless client authentication, troubleshooting wireless client connectivity. Okay, so these all are the wireless topics. Introducing multicast protocols, introducing quality of service, QoS, quality of service, implementing network services, using network analysis tool, implementing infrastructure security, implementing secure access control, understanding enterprise network security architecture, exploring automation and assurance using Cisco DNA Center. Okay, so this is the SD-WAN, or you can say automation part. Understanding the working principles of Cisco SD-WAN solution, understanding the basic of Python programming. Okay, introducing network programmability protocols, introducing APIs in Cisco DNA Center and vManage. Now, these all are the practicals. Whatever we have seen, these all are the theory parts. These all are the practicals that we will be doing. Investigate CAM, or you can say MAC table. Okay. Analyze Cisco Express Forwarding. Okay, this is the type of switching paths that is used, CEF, that is being used by Cisco. Default path, you can say. Troubleshoot VLAN trunk issues. Will troubleshoot the VLAN and trunk issues in the practical. Tuning spanning tree protocols and configuring rapid spanning tree protocol. So tuning means changing the values, you can say, changing the values of hello timer, changing the values of the priority, changing the value of any, you can say, port or cost. So these all things will be covered in spanning tree. Okay, now we have already configured rapid spanning tree in CCNA. We will again configure rapid spanning tree protocol. Configure multiple spanning tree protocol, MST, multiple spanning tree. Troubleshoot ether channel. Implement multi-area OSPF. We have seen single area OSPF in you can say in CCNA. Now we will see in CCNP how to implement multi-area OSPF. Implement OSPF tuning. Okay, we'll try to change some values, the default values in OSPF, and we'll try to implement some OSPF concepts. Apply OSPF optimizations. Okay, implement OSPF version 3. Now this OSPF version 3 is something we will be implementing OSPF using IPv6 address. Okay, IP version 6 address. Configure and verify single homed eBGP. Okay, implementing hot standby routing protocol HSRP. Configure virtual router redundancy protocol VRRP. Implement NAT. Configure and verify VRF, virtual router and forwarding. Verify generic routing encapsulation GRE. Okay, configure syslog, troubleshoot wireless client connectivity. So these all are the practicals that we will be doing in the CCNP Encore part. Okay, so these all are the practicals. There are some classroom etiquettes. Okay, please arrive class on time. Turn off your cell phone if possible. Do not eat or drink in class. Contribute to class discussion when appropriate. Avoid side conversations. Be attentive in class. Stay for the entire class. Okay, so these are some etiquettes. I would request all of you to follow these etiquettes so that we don't have any issues in our class. Okay. Understood. So now we will start with some basic switching concepts. Basic switching concepts. Okay, so what are the basic switching concepts? First, we will see what is a hub. What do you mean by a hub? Anyone? What do you mean by a hub?
Hub is a device which can store, which can broadcast, sir.
A switch also can broadcast. Switch also does broadcast, Hari. What is the difference between a hub and a switch?
After the first
It
time,
will not.
switch will just send it to the particular MAC address, but the hub will broadcast every time.
Yes, perfect, Arjun. So what will happen? See, hub is a layer 1 device. It has single broadcast and single collision domain. Okay. Now what will happen? Suppose if any packet is received on a hub. Okay. If any packet is received on a hub, then what the hub will do? Hub will each and every time hub will do the broadcast. Okay. Suppose a packet is received on this port. Okay, what it will do, it will broadcast to each and every ports. It will broadcast to each and every ports. Every time it receives any port on any of the any packet on any of the ports, so it will always broadcast. It will not store the details of the port numbers or the devices. Okay, so it will not store, it don't have any table or anything. Information coming from one port is flooded to all the other ports. Inefficient use of bandwidth. Inefficient use of bandwidth means that this is the hub. Suppose the hub is having a speed, or if this bandwidth is of 10 mbps. Okay, if the bandwidth is of 10 mbps, then the 10 mbps bandwidth is divided into these 4 ports. Okay, these 4 ports, so each port will get 2.5 mbps 2.5 mbps bandwidth. Okay, so this is inefficient use of bandwidth. Inefficient use of bandwidth. Okay, understood what is hub?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is switch? It is a layer 2 or layer 3 device. Layer 2 or layer 3 device. It has single broadcast and multiple collision domain. Okay. It works on MAC address table. Efficient use of bandwidth. Now, what is the use of switch? Whenever a switch receives a packet on a port, okay, what it will do, it will search for the entry in the MAC address table. In the MAC address table, if it does not have the entry in the MAC address table, what it will do, it will broadcast the packet. What it will do, it will broadcast the packet, or you can say flood the packet. flood the packet on all the ports, okay. But next time when it receives any packet from the same destination, now it has the entry in the MAC address table. Next time it will not broadcast, it will do a unicast. What it will do? It will do a unicast, one-to-one communication, one-to-one communication. Okay. So this is the working of a switch. Switch works on MAC address table. It stores the MAC entries. Okay. On the basis of MAC address, it forwards the packet. Efficient use of bandwidth. Now, what is the meaning of efficient use of bandwidth? Now, in this switch, in a switch, each port is having a different bandwidth. You can say each port is having a bandwidth. Suppose the bandwidth of the port is 1 Mbps, or you can say 10 Mbps. Okay, so each port will be having 10 Mbps bandwidth. Each port will be having 10 Mbps bandwidth. Okay, it will not get divided into you can say this 10 Mbps will not get divided into the ports, number of ports. Each port will have this 10 Mbps bandwidth. Okay, understood? So this is the major difference between a switch and a hub. What is broadcast domain? What is broadcast domain? See, broadcast domain is set of all devices that receives broadcast frames originating from any device within the set. Now let us take an example. Let us take an example over here. Uh, we'll take this example only. Okay. So what is the definition? Broadcast domain is a set of all devices that receives broadcast frames. Okay. Now please let me know whenever my switch will broadcast any packet. Okay. Whenever my switch will broadcast any packet. This is my switch. Okay, whenever a switch receives any broadcast, what the switch will do? Switch will forward the broadcast to every port, but not the port that it has received. It will not forward the broadcast again on the same port from where the broadcast has been received. Okay, so switch will broadcast on each and every port. Okay, so until where the broadcast is going is the broadcast domain, you can say. Now when a broadcast is received by a router, what the router will do? The router will drop the broadcast. It will not forward the broadcast. So you can say over here, this is my one broadcast domain. This is my one broadcast domain because I am connected to the router over here. Any packet receiving from here, it will broadcast over here. Okay, and it will be dropped by the router. Router will not broadcast it. Okay, now this is my broadcast domain again. Here it will get dropped. So wherever this one broadcast can travel is known as the broadcast domain. Okay, let me take one more example. Let me see. Yes. So see, now this is my set of all devices that receive broadcast frames originating from any device within the set. Okay. Now see over here, whenever I will be receiving a packet from here, okay, what the switch will do? If it will not have the MAC address entry in the table, what the switch will do? Switch will broadcast to each and every port over here, over here, over here. Now this switch received the packet, so it will broadcast on this port, on this port, on this port, on this port, on this port. Now this switch receives the packet, it will broadcast on its all the ports. Okay. Now it will broadcast over here also. So this switch receives the packet from here also and from here also, and it broadcasts to all the ports. So this one broadcast originated from this PC, Okay. See, wherever it went, the one broadcast, this is known as one broadcast domain. Okay. And where the broadcast domain got broke, who broke the broadcast domain? The router. Okay, it will stop those broadcasts because I am a router. I will not forward the broadcast. Understood? Any doubt in broadcast domain?
Sir, but won't the STP block the traffic, the recycling?
Sorry.
Won't spanning tree protocol stop this traffic, sir?
Yes, spanning tree protocol will stop the traffic definitely, but see, spanning tree will have only one blocking port, right? It will have one blocking port. See, this is
Yes, sir.
my way. Suppose this is my blocking port over here. Okay, this is my blocking port. Now my traffic can travel till this switch. It can travel
Yes,
from
sir.
here to this switch. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
my broadcast ultimately came to each and every switch and each and every devices in the network of the switch. So
Yes, sir.
my broadcast will ultimately come because I am having redundant paths. Okay, I'm forming a loop over here, but I'm having redundant paths. Okay, so my traffic will ultimately go to each and every switch. Okay, so when it
Yes, sir.
receives the switches, okay, what the switch will do? Switch will see the MAC address table. It will not have the entry. It will broadcast to all the ports. Okay, so simply it will
Yes, sir.
broadcast, and wherever the broadcast is gone, all that devices are in a single broadcast domain. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the broadcast domain. Okay, broadcast domain. See over here, VLAN broadcast domain. What we use to break the broadcast domain? We use VLAN. Okay, VLAN. We use VLAN, virtual LANs, to break the broadcast domains. Okay, in the switch. So per VLAN is equal to one broadcast domain. One VLAN equal to one broadcast domain because the traffic cannot go outside a VLAN. Okay. So if we want to break the broadcast domain, what we can do? We can use VLAN. Also, the router breaks the broadcast domain. Now MAC address. What is MAC address? MAC address is something media access control. It is 48 bits hexadecimal address, or you can say 6-byte address. 6-byte address. Okay, so it is divided into two parts. As you can see in the image also, it is divided into two parts. The first one is the organizational unique identifier. What it is? Organizational unique identifier. What do you mean by organizational unique identifier?
Yeah, every company product will have their own, like Cisco, Juniper.
Okay, yeah, so you can say every company will be having a unique address. It will be having a unique address, MAC address. And unique MAC address means this uh, first three blocks, you can say, are organizational unique identifier. Organizational unique identifier means it will be not same. And the last three blocks are given by the network, are known as network interference controller specific. Okay, so these are the this is the MAC address, the format of a MAC address. Understood? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We are able to hear you, sir.
Sir, we got enough.
Okay. So MAC address is something that switch works on MAC address, and switch is a layer 2 device. Layer 2 device. Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, what do you mean by VLAN? Varun.
VLAN is a
So which one? Which
it is
one?
divided. It is divided into several parts, sir. VLAN.